I bet you're wondering how the hell I ended up back on this thing, and to be honest, so am I, but it's kind of a long story, and to get started, we had to go back to Las Vegas, so let's go. The week before Vegas was my highest mileage week ever, coming in at just under 64 miles. I capped it all off with a smooth 22-mile long run that had me feeling ready, like maybe even Boston qualifying ready. I had known I had a hectic work trip coming up, so coach and I adjusted the plan ahead of time on the calendar.
We are currently at the Vegas airport and have been here for like 2 hours now, and our check-in isn't until 4, which is in 5 hours. So we've been at this Starbucks and just killing time. Gonna get a run in later, but it's gonna be hot.
When I'm out walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out.
I've got a bad feeling about this. Not very heat adapted.
Let me go wild, like I glister in the sun. Let me go wild. Big hands, I know you're the one. Body and beats, I stain my sheets. I don't even know why.
Today's workout was supposed to be on yesterday. Today was supposed to be a 7 easy miles, but the trip has really taken a lot out of me. And, I was just kind of on my feet all day. I did like 30,000 steps and feet were aching, wasn't wearing the best shoes. And I don't normally drink, but when you're at these types of things, was getting a lot of networking done, invited to do a lot of dinners, and got a little bit ahead of myself and was not feeling the best yesterday. So I was kind of beating myself up about that at first. It's the first and only real day I'd missed at this prep. It's water under the bridge at this point. So talked with coach. She said this was the best game plan. Just shift the workout to today. No big deal. It's 11 miles total of work, 2-mile warm up, then 7-mile progression from 7:05 down to 6:40, and then 2-mile cool down. The one thing is there's a lot of stoplights here, so it's going to be hard to really just stay in the flow of not stopping, but I'm going to try my best and maybe have to go off route a little bit. I planned a route, but I might just take a right turn to stoplight, I hope I don't get lost, but literally woke up not too long ago, and I'm not wearing a shirt because I didn't bring enough clothes. I don't have any more clean shirts. Just going to finish drinking on these electrolytes, head out, and then I'll see you guys out there.
See right now, I need you, I'll meet you somewhere now. You up now, I see you, I get you. Take care now, slow down, be cool, I miss you. Come here now, it's yours now. Keep it, I'll hold on until now. I need you right now. Once I leave you, I'm strung out. If I get you, I'm strong.
So after that workout, I get back in Nashville. I'm still not feeling the best, but I just do some easy mileage on Friday. And then Saturday was what was supposed to be pretty easy to me on paper, just 11 miles easy, and then closing 4 miles at marathon pace between 6:40 to 6:50 a mile. And about halfway through that run, my ankle started to hurt, but it was like a 2, maybe a 3 out of 10, nothing serious. So I just kept running. I did 1 mile at marathon pace and I was like, okay, something's not right. Let's stop. And it was just a super frustrating week altogether. So I was like, let's just recenter, refocus. It's a new week next week. And then I just drove. And when I got out of my car, when I got home and I stood up, I was like, oh, that's not good. That feels like a sprained ankle, but I didn't sprain my ankle or anything. And I was like hobbling around. And then I went to bed that night and I woke up the next day and this thing was huge. It had blown up. I could barely walk. I was like, what the hell happened? I hope it's good by Monday. And I texted coach, let him know. And of course it wasn't good by Monday. So being smart and learning from what happened with my last experience when I got injured, I was like, I need to take some time off and I need to not run, as frustrating as it is. Didn't run for 3 days and then it was feeling a lot better. The inflammation had gone down quite a bit and I just wanted to get back to my running. So I ran up through Friday, no workouts, but we were going to get it done with a 21-mile workout with 12 miles at marathon pace. I did one block and then I got like a mile or even not even that into the second block of the super hot. It was flaring up again. I was like, this is not good. Let's just stop, cut it short at 12 miles, which I'm very grateful that I did and that I did listen to my body. But then I woke up the next day and this thing was on a whole nother level again. Huge watermelon ankle, like nothing I had ever seen before. So I was like, something's going on here. I got to go see Dr. Alec, who helped me through all of my rehab the first time.
You've got like a few different ligaments that attach here, right?
Right.
You have tenderness over all 3 of these ligaments, which is what's really interesting. So you've got tenderness over your anterior tibiofibular ligament, okay? Which is when you were originally poking to it, you said it was this spot between those 2 bones. That's that thing.
Okay.
Right there. So you've got some tenderness there. And you've got some tenderness over your posterior tibiofibular ligament, which is when we were running my fingers up through here, that thing. And this one, that ATFL, is when I take your foot and roll it this way.
Yeah.
That's predominantly what gets strained. Here's the hard part, though, is that when you've got that much swelling around all of those things, they kind of all get pissed off. What doesn't really make sense is like why or how this happened.
From the pictures and from Alex's assessment, everybody was like, are you sure you didn't trip or you didn't, this is only caused by like blunt force trauma in this ligament. But I swear I didn't, guys. I didn't sprain my ankle. I didn't do anything, but it was acting exactly like a sprained ankle. And the only diagnosis was rest. Now, this is when I got really frustrated because the whole build had been going so perfectly up until this last week and a half. And at this point, I'm only like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks out at the most. We still haven't even done peak week. So I'm freaking out. It's just about what story do I want to tell here. I just ultimately had to focus on what I could control. And that's how I ended up back on the elliptical. I'm not going to lose any fitness is what I was telling myself. But what I can do is just keep showing up every day. I'm not going to gain much fitness, but I'm not going to lose much. It was pretty miserable. I didn't want to be on it. I ran several workouts on it. That really showed me that I still have that mental grit in myself and was really the hardest time of this build. And I hit a workout on the elliptical that was like the hardest workout of all prep. It was the highest my heart rate got. So it had been pretty frustrating, but then saw Alec again. We did some more conditioning. It had been a week completely off of running and I was doing a lot of rehab on this ankle on my own, a lot of mobility work, like 20 minutes a day of exercises. We got in a point where we slowly started reintroducing running with 30 seconds jogging, 1 minute walking times 10, and then building that up into the point where he said, hey, if you feel comfortable, you're passing these assessments. If you feel like you need this mentally to run, you can run. And that kind of brings us to where we are now. At the end of last week, I started running again. I think I just literally did 2 4-milers on Friday and Saturday. And then this week, which is the current week we're in, as I'm uploading this and you're watching it, it's just been 5 miles, 5 miles. And then today I did 5 miles with 2 miles of marathon pace and half a mile at half marathon pace. And that was what I needed. The watch is still saying we're on track. I feel on track. I feel great. My legs have never been more fresh and I've never been more fit. This definitely isn't the story I wanted to tell, but I think it's the story I needed to tell. Because when you go after these big goals, you picture just this perfect line up, but that's not how it works, especially in marathon builds. Stuff is going to come up. As corny as it sounds, like that Rocky quote, it's like, it's not about how hard you can hit. How hard can you get hit and how are you going to come back? How are you going to keep responding? And that's the marathon in itself. You're going to get to that point where you're struggling. You want to quit. I know what it felt like last time at mile 21. I'm expecting that in full force and way worse. But now I have all these experiences to draw back on of everything that I went through to get here. The guy that was fighting through all that just to have this opportunity. The ankles feeling 100% again. There will be a race day video. I just want to thank you guys for your patience. You didn't really think I would leave you hanging, did you? Throughout this whole process, I didn't feel like filming and documenting it as much as I normally had. It just was not putting me in the best headspace. So thanks for respecting that impatiently, waiting for another upload. Will I hit the goal? We'll see. But I've done everything that I possibly could to hit this goal. I'm showing up in the best way that I possibly could show up to give myself a fighting chance. And I'm feeling pretty damn confident. The next video you'll see of me will be the race day video, so let's run.